Hello and welcome back to my channel. Last week you guys really seemed to like the interactive card that I made, so I've got another one featuring Flippin' Awesome from Lawn Fawn and the Just My Type and Love Poems stamp sets. Here is a look at the card that we are going to make today. It was so much fun to make. I really liked how this one turned out. So if you want to see how I made it, keep watching and let's get started. So I've got everything pre-die cut and pre-stamped just to save time, but you can see my little typewriters there. Two of them did not stamp out perfect, so I'm not going to use those ones. And then I've got my little mouse as well. And then I've got all the little pieces that Flippin' Awesome and the add-on create. So all of the little panels, the Flippin' Awesome mechanism itself, the little scallop border, and then the little tab for the end piece. So I am going to do some quick Copic coloring. These are really easy to color just because there's not a lot to them. So I'm using N4, N2, and N0 for the outside of my typewriter. It was really funny because I had planned for the outside to be pink and the inside to be gray, and it's just about now that I'm realizing that I was doing this backwards, but it is what it is. I like how it turned out still. I think it's really cute. I think these typewriters are so much fun because you can really color them whatever color that you want. I know I wanted to use pink because it's a Valentine's Day card, but you could do these in teals and purples, yellows. I mean, seriously, whatever color. So I did all of my darks all at the same time, and then I'm blending that out with the N2, my medium shade. And then I will go in with my N0. I'm only showing this sheet of coloring because it's the same on the other. It's the same on how I do the typewriters, but I will show you how I colored in the mouse. So I've got my N0s here. And now I can move on to doing the pinks. So I'm using, this is probably by far my favorite pink combination, and that is R85, 83, and 81. So I used 85 for the heart and for the space bar. Now the heart you stamp on separately, but it's a part of the Just My Type stamp set. There's basically like one row of keys empty, so you could just do plain keys, or you could do this heart key, or you could do one that's a smiley face. So I'm just blending out that R83 with the R81. Like I said, this is probably my favorite set of pink markers. I love them so much. So now I had an idea that maybe I wanted the paper to be pink, but it just didn't match, and I just decided, nah, I'll just keep with white paper. So now I'm going to color in that mouse. I am using E74 and E71 for this little mouse. It's kind of like a gray tone brown, like a warm gray tone brown. But here is a look at all of the markers that I used. Now we can move on to assembling. So I am just using tape runner to add this white Spiffy Speckles pattern paper square to the craft paper. And now I can start doing the assembly now that I've got all those done. And I've also cut out all of my die cuts. So the add-on for the little scalloped detail really makes this a really cute frame. But to add on the Flippin' Awesome, you only want to add strong score tape to those little tabs. That is all, because the rest of the mechanism needs to move freely. I know it doesn't seem like enough tape, but that score tape is so strong that it is enough. So you can see now how that is going to slide. And in order to move freely, you cannot put glue anywhere else on this mechanism. So I'm just rolling this slowly and reinforcing those scores. And now I am going to glue on the long piece on the edge for an extra decoration, and I'm using the pink Spiffy Speckles. So I'm using a lot of this Spiffy Speckle paper, both the white with the pink and then the pink with the darker pink. All of the supplies I'm using are listed down below. Now I'm decorating this panel, and I do something that I wish I would not have done, so learn from my mistake. I put the mouse so it sits over the little typewriter, but it makes it really hard to get back in. So over time, this will loosen up and it will be easier to slide back and forth, but you're always going to have to kind of get that in a little. It'll always just be a little tight. So I would not do overlapped images on that final long panel. Now for the rest of these panels, I'm going to use that score tape to add on just because it's a really strong tape and because I'm only using tape on just a portion of those squares. I really want it to be a strong tape. So just peeling off those backers, and then I will stick these on. Once all of these are stuck down, then I will be able to decorate them with my little typewriters. And you'll see that I have my poem all set out. So the top one's going to say, roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. And then that final typewriter says, Happy Valentine's Day, with a little mouse. You see at the end that a little mouse has been writing these little love notes. I think this is so adorable. This set is so brilliant, and it can be used for way more than just Valentine's Day. I can see myself using this one a lot. So just going to go ahead and get everything glued down, and now I can move on to final steps. So I've got the pull here from the Just My Type stamp set, adding that to the bottom so that the recipient knows that they need to pull that little tab. Now I've got a piece of that Spiffy Speckles again. It's the same one that I used for the detail squares on the Flippin' Awesome, and I am just taping this down with my tape runner to a Nina 110-pound card base. So just going to make sure that that is all lined up, and that is going to be a great background for my Flippin' Awesome. I'm using that score tape again to tape down that Flippin' Awesome, and that will complete my card. I think this turned out really, really cute. It's so fun. Again, interactive cards are just so much fun, and I feel like a lot of times we think that they're really hard to make, but it's not. You can do it, I promise. This one is probably one of the easier die sets to use. So you can see how that flips down. It's so much fun. I do have to kind of wiggle the bottom panel back in, but like I said, over time, it'll slide in smoother. So that again is my card for today. All of the supplies that I have used are listed down below, and you can get more info over on my blog, which is also linked down below. Thank you so much for joining me on a Facebook group, Lawn Fawn Addicts. If you're not in that group, join that group. I talked about this becoming a weekly series, so I think I'm going to do an interactive card every week. Let me know down below if you want to see that, and I will catch you in my next video. Thank you so much.